All right, welcome back. Somebody call the insane asylum. Get that straitjacket ready and lock up this friggin' clown's guns. The cope on this video. So this video is the second to last one that he has made as of this particular recording. So let's just go through this because this is laughable. This guy is a child, and you can just see the cope coming from a mile away. I want to continue to show you this guy has got nothing to offer you. He is one of the most mentally weak traders I have ever seen. So let's start off with him just denying things he must understand. But it doesn't fit his narrative. It doesn't fit his position. It doesn't fit his security position. So instead of just accepting that that's how it is, he's got to create the story. He's got to write the narrative. So let's begin.
There's no way that the 10-year should be up this high. And this is being driven by a number of things, in my opinion. First of all, we got this cockamamie statement that was put out last week, and it circulated through the media and everything else, that the Fed is going to do a hawkish rate cut, whatever the hell that means. I mean, you might as well have that in some George Orwell book. It's just like, if you want to twist language into something completely nonsensical, what the hell is a hawkish rate cut? So here we see again the language coming out of the Fed. And I don't know if this is kind of, pushed through certain people from the Fed where they say, hey, talk about it like this as a means of further, influencing market rates without actually coming out and doing anything.
Anyway, a lot to digest there, so let's just take a quick look at it here. So, hawkish rate cut. He claims to not know what that means. Is this the first time he's ever heard these words before? We've heard these words a lot. He just wants to deny what it is. And again, it's the cope that's going on with this guy. Hawkish rate cut. Well, yes, it was pretty much well advertised that they were going to cut the 25 basis points. And that's how the Fed always works. They advertise this before so the market knows what's coming. Now, it doesn't have to be, but that's typically how it is because the Fed doesn't want to spook the market. And it can't be seen to be going forward and then slamming it into a reverse and then going forward again. So again, the Fed are a responsible group of people. He later on goes to tell you how they're all compromised. They're all going to get jobs in the private sector after they leave. They've all been pre-approved through the ringer several times. So they're all compromised. And he further, after that, goes on to claim that they are not independent because of the process that they have to do to get there. Listen, there's very little truth to any of that stuff. First of all, 40 years in the market, he doesn't understand what a hawkish rate cut is. Cope. Everyone knows what that is. And this is where the cope of the position going against him. Because remember, in Mike's world, he's never wrong. So when he takes a position and the market moves against him, he's never going to think about exiting the position. Hell no, I pay with time. A fucking guy, 70 years old, losing his hair, you can see the end of your life at that fucking point. And he thinks time has no fucking value. All right, it's the same ridiculous reasons and concepts that he takes in his trading everywhere. I just pay with time. You know what that's code for? I'm never going to admit I'm wrong. The market is wrong, so I'm just going to wait for the market to get right. That's what he's doing here. Now, I know that since this video, rates have come back down a bit. All right, so he's going to be somewhat happy. But they've fallen off a cliff. They've actually been pretty shitty this year, considering the rate cuts. So yes, it's just a trade that everyone thought would be pretty good in January of this year. Now we're in December. Didn't work out that way. It's just a lot of chop, a lot of range-bound shit. That happens. But what does Mike do instead? Again, call the insane asylum, because this guy can't cope. He starts creating this narrative that I just explained to you. Powell's horrible. Treasuries are egregiously mispriced. He said that on this video and the one after this. And he says that Powell is just doing the bidding of his friends in the hedge fund industry, where he's going to later go out and get a job with. Well, he very much likely will, or something along those lines, because every Fed chair does exactly that. I mean, you just go take a look. You can go through. It's not a secret. But what a ridiculous, childish story. Can you imagine this guy thinking that Powell, by the way, I've always said Powell is one vote of many. Right now, do you see them all voting the same way? No, there's a lot of healthy dissension. Okay, if you want to see compromised people, look at the guy that this fucking dumb clown has voted for twice in the federal elections. And you all know what I mean. I don't even have to say the fucking fool's name. Trump. I said it anyways. That guy has done nothing but install into high positions completely unqualified and compromised people. And this fucking asshat has the gall to say that a guy that you cannot show in any way is unqualified or compromised. Listen, does this look like China or North Korea, where all the Fed voting members are all voting on the same side? No, they have healthy dissension and discussion. They're serious people. Is Powell not doing what Trump wants? Well, he is. But of course, what did Trump say on the day of the quarter-point rate cut? Powell's a fucking fool. It should have been a half a point. Blah, 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 blah. Listen, Trump is fucking meaningless. This guy is dumber than a box of fucking hammer handles. So what he thinks about the economy is fucking irrelevant. And the cope that Mike Norman here is putting on this is just that. He wants his trade to work. And the easy target for mindless fucking clowns like this guy is Powell. Randomly grab any news, CNBC, business news channel out there and just see the sea of people that come on. You will see more or less split down the middle. Half these people think Powell's a fucking clown because he's cutting too aggressively. The other half thinks Powell's a fucking clown because he's not cutting enough. That would be Mike. So you know the fucking retard camp he is in. But what is that saying when you have wide dissension among everybody? It means the Fed is probably doing about as close to perfect as anyone is going to be aware of. And of course they are. That's their fucking job. As far as doing the bidding of hedge funds, because this asshole claims that hedge funds are short, listen, I cannot believe 40 fucking years in the market, this guy operates like he has 40 seconds in the fucking market. Listen, hedge funds, if they're short, can go flat, and guess what else they can do? They can go fucking long. They don't need to be short. So you don't have to do the bidding of your buddy who's short, because if your buddy wants to be on the right side of the fucking trade, and he pretty much knows what everyone else knows, he can choose where he thinks the market is going to go. And if he's short, he can stop out. If he thinks the treasuries are going to be heading higher, rates are going lower, he can fucking be long. Hedge funds don't operate like this dumb fuck. They can decide to be long or short. There's no reason hedge funds have to be short if they are in fact short. There's no reason. You don't have to do the bidding of someone that can change their position with or without your knowledge. What a fucking child. The good news is this dumb fuck, this twice voting Trump fucking fool, and by the way, if Trump could obtain a third vote, this fucking idiot would do it again. I'm almost convinced of that, because there's no amount of fucking stupid coming out of the Trump administration that fucking idiots like this won't basically back up. At the very least with a vote, the ultimate backing of someone. But at least this fucking idiot is in the right place in the country, down in fucking Florida. When you shake the fucking basket in the trees, all the fucking morons fall to the south. The only problem with that is morons breed. And when you get a collection of fucking morons in the south, you end up getting what is very similar to a fucking mold outbreak. And that's what's going on here. But at least we're putting the fucking idiots, or in this case, voluntarily going down to the fucking south, the fucking cesspool. Now that is a bit off topic, but you have to understand the mindset and the fucking cope that goes on with people like this. And you can tell he's moved to the right state. He's a fucking multi-gun owner. Why? Who the fuck knows? Because it's these other fucking foolish demons in his fucking head, because he's a fucking child. It's exactly the same disease that is religion. It's just another cult. He thinks like a fucking child that probably still believes in Santa Claus. Oops. But you get the point. I can go on here, but all of this is another 9 minutes or so of him whining and pissing his friggin' diaper because the trade isn't going how he wants it. Folks, what matters to you? None of that political stuff, not the fucking musings of a fucking idiot that just can't get out of his own fucking way. And again, I'll remind you, he's going to claim he's right. It doesn't matter. Okay, if this market starts to head down, I mean, it's currently the 11th of December. NASDAQ is down 1%, Russell up 1/3. So the market is flip-flopping all over the place, just like this guy, so you could recognize it fairly well. But listen, he's already told you. He's a buy and holder. He's told you. He's going to come out and tell you, if this market drops 10, 15, 20%, he's going to come out and tell you at the end or in the middle or anywhere in between. He's going to say, see, I told you. But what's he going to really do? He's telling you he's never wrong. And he's going to tell you when and if this market does go down, because let's face it, this market is going to correct at some point. I'm not calling it. He's the one calling it. Or that will be. And he's going to tell you it's right. Look at the cope. Look at the childish thinking. This is a weak-minded fool. If he was so convinced he was right, once this market finally does drop 10, 15, 20%, whatever it is, if what he was telling you was actually true, why would he hold everything all down? And he's already told you, all he's going to do is hold it all the way down. If he really could call it, and he was confident in the recesses of what's left of this guy's fucking disgusting mind, if he was truly calling it, why would he hold it all the way down and take all these losses? That's the point. If you aren't doing what you're saying, you don't fucking believe it yourself when it comes to the bottom line. So he can say whatever fucking retarded shit he wants. He has sold himself the bill of goods, because that's what happens when you've been saying shit for so long. You just fully believe it. You're a full patched cult member. And he's the cult leader in his own fucking story. He's fully patched in. And if you're not a cult member too, you can see exactly what I'm talking about here. This guy isn't calling a fucking thing, because if he could, you have to understand that you would. You would do whatever it took to not ride it all the way fucking down and build a bigger position. You just would. But why doesn't he? Well, one, yes, he believes his own shit. But the other thing is, that way he gets to claim he's never wrong. I'll just pay with time. That's a weak-minded child. That's how weak losing traders are. Like I said, the only reason why this guy has anything going for him is at least he's long the market significantly more than he's short. Matter of fact, he might never be short by his own admission. Since he's never going to sell anything, he's just going to buy and hold it. So again, he's a buy and holder. And over the long run, that is the way to be in the equity markets. No doubt about it. Other than that, this guy has gotten everything wrong his entire life. All you're doing when you're watching and supporting this fucking fool is supporting his nonsense ideas, and your brain is getting infested and it's rotting from this bullshit ideas, and you're going to be no better off than a buy and holder. Mentally, you're going to be far worse off, and you're going to start believing this nonsense on your way to becoming a cult member, and that is never a good thing. Full stop. So his flip-flopping will continue, and you will see as 2026 progresses that all he does is continue to tell you stories backed up by zero facts and evidence. Powell's hedge fund buddies, if he has any, can flip their trade tomorrow. You have no fucking clue. And as far as being egregiously priced, if anything was egregiously priced in any real sense, that would get fixed very soon. And the fact that he doesn't understand even the most basic ideas about trading, and instead reverts to name-calling Powell and making up stories how they're all corrupted. Listen, that's MAGA cult member, dumb fuck trader 101. It's all this guy's doing. And I look forward to pointing it out numerous times in 2026. We'll see you soon.